Hi there, my name is Rob Ayers. I'm from A-dec, and today I'd like to share with you and demonstrate more about our A-dec Plus service app. For those of you who aren't aware about this mobile application, it's designed to help you better identify parts and help you with service. To begin with, I'd like to share with you one of the most popular features of our A-dec Plus service app that allows you to take a picture of a part and use artificial intelligence to identify what that is. And so to begin with, I'll demonstrate. You'll open up the A-dec Plus service app, and there's two buttons. You're going to click on the Take a Photo button, and that's going to activate a live view of your camera. And when you do that, you're going to focus upon the part you're interested in identifying. And what's important here is you take a picture, and you're going to want that to be in focus. That's the most important thing you can do, even if it requires that you put the camera a little further away from the part. And then also don't be afraid to crop the part to isolate what you're trying to identify, because maybe this table surface is going to have multiple other parts, and it's going to help the effort to try and isolate as much as you can the specific part that you're trying to identify. And so you accept that part, and what it's going to do now is it's going to evaluate that photo you submitted against a vast number of pictures we've taken and fed the AI along with metadata, and it's going to come back with a curated list that's ranked in order from top to bottom, with the top being most probable. And in this particular case, you can see the second choice is actually what the part is. And I click in and drill into that. And from there, I can see thumbnails of the part. And I look at these to gain confidence that yes, this is indeed the part that I think I have. I can open them up. I can zoom in on those thumbnails to get further confidence. In this particular case, I can also click upon the product family tab at the top, and I can see that this part reports into top level models. In this case, I see it is part of our 500 delivery systems models. But if I go back to part details, I can see that this isn't available for individual sale, and I can either click the link or the upper tab that says parent items, and I can see what this reports into next level up on the bill of materials structure, if you will, to then see that I can actually purchase this as part of a 90.1732.00 part number that's available to sale with a 5-day lead time. And I can even add it to a request list. So if I click on that, I can add it to list, I can view the list. Currently it's loaded into the cart kind of with a quantity of 1, but maybe I want to bump that up to 2 because I want to have a replacement for what broke and 1 is a spare. And then I can resend this list. And I can enter any name I want in this particular case, like Dr. Toy, as a reminder, because maybe I'm doing several visits to different clinics today. And I could even say that this is in Newburgh. And then I can continue, and this is just going to launch you into whatever your favorite email tool is to then work through your contacts, and I can send an email. And that's going to send you any part that you've added to that cart in an email so you have it. Heading back to Part Finder, you'll bounce back on the lower tab with just the Part Finder button, and that's how you come back to the home screen. And that overall is an introduction to how you would identify a part by taking a live image photo of a part. We also have the capability to import a photo from your library. Maybe someone's texted you or emailed you a picture. To do that, you're going to select from library, and when you click on that select from library, it's going to allow you to access your photo library and import a photo. In this particular case, this is a very busy picture taken inside of an entire delivery system. It has a lot going on with tubings and connectors and fasteners of screws, number of things like that. So in this particular case, this is a good example to highlight how you can drag and resize your image to focus solely upon what you want to identify. In this particular case, I want to try and identify just the yellow tubing. And so I deliberately crop it for that size. It's going to go out and it's going to evaluate again the AI, and it's going to come out with a list of suggestions, with the top being most prominent and recommended of what it thinks those part numbers are. And that's how you would search by import from a photo. It's pretty unlikely that someone's going to completely remove a part so it's completely in isolation to take a photo of it and identify it. So the application also works if you are able to submit a photo, even a photo that shows a partial amount of the part. And so in this particular example, we're going to take a picture of a part and this is a circuit board, but what if it's obstructed? It's underneath something, or it's broken, or I only have a portion of that I find of the part. I can submit a portion of that item. In this particular case, I'm deliberately obscuring a bunch of this circuit board, and I can submit that. And the beautiful part about that is we have trained the AI with a lot of pictures of that part, and it will come back and it will still be able to, in most cases, identify that part. As you'll see here, the #1 selection that's the most likely that we click at the top is indeed this circuit board that we're identifying. And so that's another neat feature that you can use even if you only have access to a portion of the part. So I've demonstrated how to search from a photo, and that's a key way to identify a part in the A-dec Plus Service app. Again, whether it's a live image taken on your camera or an upload of an existing photo you have access to. But there's other ways to search. So in this particular case, we can search by visual description, and this also leverages artificial intelligence to evaluate the metadata and the many photos we've trained the system and platform on. So in this particular case, under search by visual description, I can enter things like gray plastic. And when I do that and hit enter and submit, it's going to look at all those photos and allow the artificial intelligence to say, these are all the things that look like the color gray and all the things that look like the color plastic. Even if like gray and plastic aren't explicitly listed in the description, the part description or the metadata. And so this is a useful feature, right? So if you wanted to enter, as another example, let's say white housing, and enter that, again, it's going to come back and it's going to evaluate the thousands of pictures and parts we've trained the artificial intelligence on to say, these things look to me items that are the color white and look like housings. And that's how you would search by visual description. Next, I'd like to explain how we would do a search based upon exact keyword descriptions. So let's say I have an O-ring or a screw or something where I know an exact term I want to use. So in this particular case, I'm going to enter screw. And this is, again, it's exact keyword search. So it's looking at all of the metadata of our parts, and it's only returning in that search items that it finds the explicit exact keyword search of screw in those part number descriptions. So you'll see here all of those parts that it identifies has screw listed in that description. As another example, let's say I know it's a 1/4 inch. I can enter a 1/4 and it's going to return all those parts, whether it's, in this case, it might be barbs, screws, O-rings, various things, but they have a 1/4 in their part number description. And that's how you would search by exact keyword search. So far I've shown you how to identify a part from an image, whether it's a live photo or an imported photo. I've also shown you how to search by exact keyword search or AI visual description. But here's where it gets really fun. You can search by all of those factors combined. So let me demonstrate that. What I'm going to do here is I'm going to import a photo, select from a library. It's the one that we've seen, but I am not going to crop it deliberately. And you can see here, there is a lot going on. There is connectors and tubings and screws. And so when it first comes back with its list of suggestions, it's not what we would expect. We're not there yet. But what I can also do is I can take that list that's already been filtered. Again, I've submitted a photo and it's filtered it one round. But I can go further and then I can filter it by AI visual description. And I can enter something generic like yellow tubing. And when I submit that, it's going to take that existing filtered list and filter it further to then come back and it's going to say, these are all the things that look like it has the color of yellow in them. But then I know, for example, that that tubing is 1/4 inch. And when I do that, it filters it a third time and gets even further, and it comes back and identifies each of those tubings by which I can then go in and pick. And you may need to pick one or two to look at the images. In this case, I'm like, yes, it has the 3 stripes, this is my part. But again, that's an introduction to how you can search with an image, an AI visual description search of the part, and then narrow it down further with an exact keyword search. And finally, I just like to demonstrate and explain some of the capabilities of the reference app that's available in the A-dec Plus service mobile app. You'll notice on the bottom, you've got the part finder tab, and that's what we've been using. You have the request list tab, and you can see there's an item in our cart we've demonstrated, but right next to that, you have reference. This is an area where you can access for reference information on several things. The first one is tutorials and FAQ. This takes you to a site that gives you further information. If you need more information on how to download the app for a colleague, a general overview video of how the application works, the 3 ways to search that I've gone over, tips for taking better photos, some of the things that I've talked about and shared. And then there's a supported products table. We're always actively capturing photos and training more parts to be identified by the artificial intelligence, but this will show you what specific products we have already available through the platform. In addition, we have the ability for you to access digitally our knowledge base, and this is how you can go in and you can access support articles and knowledge management articles about our products. And so in this particular case, let's say we want to learn about a 332 Pro delivery system, and I can see images of the parts. Here's how you see videos that give you explanations, for example, of how to operate and navigate features. You can see exploded part breakdown diagrams and things of that nature. So digitally, you can have all that at your fingertips, accessible through the A-dec Plus service app. And then finally, you have access to the A-dec service parts catalog. This is accessible through our parts and for performance page that we're continually expanding upon. And so through this, you can click on our parts catalog. We offer hard copy versions of this, but this doesn't, you don't have to actually carry it with you and have all of that. You can have the digital version in your pocket through the mobile app. And if you click upon any one of these, it takes you to the page and you can access everything we offer in our service parts catalog. Thank you for your time. We hope it was useful. We're really excited about this app and how it can save you time to more efficiently identify parts and focus upon more valuable activities in your day. We're always evolving it, so keep checking back as more features and functionality will be added in the future. If you have any further questions, go to adec.com in the navigation under products and go to the software and apps page.